Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be building a Hackintosh. So, Hackintoshes may or may not die within the next few years because, well, obviously Apple's going to drop support for Intel soon. The thing about a Hackintosh is that it only supports a certain hardware configuration, so macOS only supports Intel CPUs, and you kind of need to do some weird things to get it to support AMD CPUs. It also has native support for AMD GPUs because obviously the Mac Pros come with AMD GPUs, and I have a decent AMD GPU right here. Alright, so this is going to be my Hackintosh computer. Now, this is a pretty decked out computer. I got it from Valley Village for $200. This has a 8700K, so it's LGA 1151. But now, I'm going to have to take this graphics card out. Let's put the RX 580 in here. Let's take this out. You can see the GTX 1080 Ti in all its glory. So, this is the Gaming X RX 580. Now to check your graphics card compatibility, there are two pages for NVIDIA and AMD. I'm on the AMD GPU compatibility page. You can check the compatibility. These are the versions. These are the graphics card models. If it says yes with OCLP, that's fine too. You would probably encounter some issues, but here it says yes, which means that this specific version supports that graphics card in particular. Gonna do this, and there we go. Now you can see the RX 580 is in there, so I'm gonna put the glass back on. And I took this Intel Wi-Fi card out of an old HP EliteBook, and this should have native support for macOS. Let's find out if it fits. It doesn't fit. God damn it. Okay. Alright. If you're following along, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to search up macOS and the version that you want, download, and then at Olarilla at the end. And you can see that this web page is going to pop up, and then from here you're just going to want to scroll down to the version that you want, and then you can download it directly from MediaFire, or you can torrent it. And if you have one of those restricted internet connections that block this, what you can do is you can use a VPN, because for this one they use Link4Ties. I don't know why they use that, it's so annoying, but then if you do the whole Link4Ties thing, it leads you directly to a MediaFire page, where you can then download your macOS, and you can see that it's now downloaded. It's supposed to be a .raw, and alongside this you're also going to want to download some other programs as well. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to take your USB drive. It doesn't matter if it's USB 3 or USB 2. USB 3 will cause more problems if your computer doesn't support it properly. Well, my computer does support USB 3 just fine. So I'm going to insert it just like this. And you're also going to want to make sure that you have no important files on it, because it will wipe your USB drive. So you need to back it up. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you want to download Rufus. So Rufus is basically a utility that allows you to flash bootable ISOs, other certain files, onto the USB drive. So you can see I have Rufus open. It immediately detects the USB drive that has been plugged in here. Select the .raw file and then add it like that. All these settings look good. So now I'm just going to flash it. Now I'm going to wait. Alright, so it's been quite a bit of time, and you can see that it says that it's ready. Now, even though it says ready, this is not necessarily ready. You can see that when I go into File Manager, it doesn't actually show the drive, so I'm going to have to do a couple things. Next thing you're going to want to download is MiniTool Partition. This should show the actual drive, and what you're going to do is you're going to select the USB drive, the EFI partition, right-click that, change letter, and then change it to any letter that you want, and then hit apply. So now it shows up in File Manager, but if you try to open it, it won't work. You're going to need another program called Explorer++ as an administrator, and then you can open the EFI. And in here, you're going to want to replace the EFI file. And in the same page that I got the macOS image, there's also OpenCore Mod EFI folders, and you're going to want to download the version that corresponds with your Intel CPU generation. So this computer has an 8700K, which is Coffee Lake, so I'm just going to download the Coffee Lake version. So now I'm going to extract this. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to copy and paste this EFI file here, go back to Explorer++, and basically replace the EFI file that's already there. So there we go, I just pasted it in there. So now this USB should be ready to set up my Hackintosh computer. Alright, let's set up the Hackintosh that I put under the table. Just plug the USB in. Oh, so it's Kingston Data Traveler. And you can see here that this message shows up. So what I'm gonna have to do is, since there are sort of weird secure boot settings in this BIOS, you can see here's the secure boot option. Switch it to other OS. Now it should work. Okay, here we go. So for some reason there's Windows installed on here, which I didn't actually know. Sorry, so I'm just gonna boot it directly into macOS Sequoia. Look at all that text. So it's basically just getting everything ready, and it should go directly into the Yes, there we go. So you're going to want to make sure that nothing important is on the drive that you're going to install macOS on, because it's going to wipe that. And I'm going to set the format to macOS Extended Journaled. And you're also going to want to make sure that the scheme is set to either APFS or GUID. So I'm going to try and install now, and we're going to see what happens. Oh my god. Let's go, I'm in. So let's just set this up real quick. Oh, continue. There we go. Now over here I do have a TP link, and I did manage to get this to work with macOS Monterey. I don't know if I can get it to work here though. That's gonna be a whole other day of experimentation. But you can see here it does seem to be working. I just need to set up some stuff. Now, I've been trying to fight with this for a while. For some reason, with my WUXGA monitor, that wouldn't actually work with Sonoma, so I had to switch to its normal 16:9 monitor to get the dual display setup to work properly. Also, I did manage to get the Wi-Fi thing working. Even though I'm using OpenCore, you don't actually use the one that's made for OpenCore. I think it's just this one, the one that's made for Big Sur. This is the thing that made it work for me for my particular TP-Link. So yeah, there we go. Now I have a successful, finally, a successful Hackintosh. You can see right here, there's all the specs. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye!